Good afternoon. I'm quite honored to have been chosen as this year's White Coat ceremony speaker. I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to everyone who is joining us for this special day, especially
University of Michigan medical students were the scene. All those white coats you see there walking out, ironically, of their white coat ceremony. These are new students that are going to be coming into the school to start. But the reason that they did this, as you can see, someone was beginning to speak there as they moved on in mass. Let's go to details of what happened, because this particular speaker happened to hold some anti-abortion rights views. So this year's event selected keynote speaker Dr. Kristen Collier. She's an assistant professor of medicine at the University of Michigan, known to hold strong anti-abortion beliefs. There's a picture of her giving her address there. Who knows what was running through her mind as this whole thing went down, but let's more details on her. Collier, she's also director of the Medical School program on health, spirituality, and religion. She has shared several posts expressing an anti-abortion stance on social media, including messages on Twitter in which she claimed her way of being a feminist involved fighting for her prenatal sisters who have been subjected to what she claims is the violence in the act of abortion. So she's a feminist in protecting prenatal little girls, but maybe not prenatal boys. Either way, according to an interview, which by the way means, I don't know, I'm not gonna judge her too much off of that statement, it just seems a little weird. According to an interview with Catholic news site The Pillar, published on June 24th, Collier started off her career as a pro-abortion rights atheist, only to later become the quote, committed Christian and avowedly pro-life activist that she is now. Now, many of these medical students at University of Michigan interpreted this decision to have Collier as this year's white coat ceremony keynote speaker as betraying UM's commitment to stand by abortion rights and continue providing abortion care in the aftermath of course, the Supreme Court decision to overturn Roe versus Wade. 340 students signed this petition to oppose her speaking at the event. And then when that didn't work, they decided to go ahead with this protest. So writing in that petition, they said, while we support the rights of freedom of speech and religion, an anti-choice speaker as a representative of the University of Michigan undermines the university's position on abortion and supports the non-universal, theologically rooted platform to restrict abortion access, an essential part of medical care. One last part of this. This is not simply a disagreement on personal opinion. Through our demand, we are standing up in solidarity against groups who are trying to take away human rights and restrict medical care. And they turned that whole thing down. The dean turned that down, so they said, okay, we'll turn our backs and walk out. I don't know what their response has been to it since, or if they're looking to punish these kids or just go, okay, that happened, let's not talk about it. But it seems like a fight is maybe on the horizon. Maybe folks who take this woman's class, I don't know if she's teaching necessarily in these particular groups, but then what they'll do about it next. It looks like it could be something that continues to build at the school.
Yeah, something we hear a lot about all the time is why are we always fighting about politics in America, right? Why are we bringing our political views into everything? Can't we just let people have their views and mind their business and we have ours and we don't bring it into our day-to-day life? No, absolutely not. If you have a very unpopular opinion and that opinion has now become law thanks to the Supreme Court, now states can ban abortions, that affects many people's lives. And if you have unpopular opinions and moreover, you're an activist around being anti-choice, guess what? You're not entitled to people being polite to you. You're not entitled to people sitting and watching your speech. And I think this is the absolute right response. And whenever I see stuff like this happen, especially in schools, I'm super hopeful because the younger generations are all right. The kids are all right. And of course, this is 4 years of medical school. These are not children, but they are the next generation. And it makes me hopeful that they're establishing norms that taking our rights away is not okay, not something they'll stand for.
It's weird, by the way, you can have those points of views, which is part of that, what that petition said. And she was formerly an atheist and she's found God and now she's trying to restrict people's rights. So is it the same as saying the atheist says, I want to become a preacher and I want to stand up in front of religious folks in a church and tell them everything that they believe is nonsense? That doesn't make any sense. Why do you want to be there? You don't believe in the science and the medicine involved in this. Why are you trying to teach it? Yeah. It's fine, have your beliefs, but it just doesn't match up with what it is that your profession is. That's all I'm saying. I mean, whatever atheists want to become pastors probably isn't gonna work out too well for them when they go up in front of the church and start saying things that don't make any sense for what the church folks are there for.
And listen, if she retires, the right is going to embrace this and make her the speaker for them on this issue. They're gonna be like, this doctor was canceled for her religious views. It's gonna be a whole thing.
Can't wait for that, huh, Jessica?